Hi everyone, today we wanted to speak about the relationship between stress and creativity and especially present a physics model on how we can enter flow states by avoiding stress-driven work.
Yes. So we would like to explain a little relation between stress and creativity and how there is a kind of hysteresis
Yeah,
loop, hysteresis path that emerge from the mixing of those two complex behaviors.
and I think like we had this idea because we observed when we were like doing like deep work sessions or meditating or just like speaking in a long conversation with somebody, and then sometimes you have like ideas that emerges, and like directly after that you have like the fear of like losing this idea because you don't have like the right context to note it or something like that. And then I saw like an edit on David Lynch. Maybe I'll put a link on it that shows like that. Yeah, it's a common fear to lose this idea, like you were like some small squirrel that was like losing nuts.
Yeah, yeah, and like about David Lynch, you told me he had a famous quote, like
Yeah,
he
he
proved.
said,
If a person forgets an idea that they love, it's a horror. And it could lead to a real yearning to commit suicide.
So it's a hardcore a squirrel who wants to keep every nuts of ideas because he fears so much the winter. He fears so much not being able to produce the good idea at a good time that yeah he storm his brain with stress, so cortisol and all
yeah,
the stuff.
and this sabotages creativity, and so we want to show how letting go could be more interesting in this kind of context. So functionally we need to we're
Y-
going to pose just two hypotheses. Yeah.
Now, so you want to draw the model right now?
Yeah. I just wanted to share like the two hypotheses of the states we could be in. So the first one is for confidence.
Yeah, so we've decided to simplify uh, with two Boolean states. So Boolean means on off. So our
Okay.
idea is you are either confident about your ability to create or not, and you're either creative or not. And there is full spectrum for both of them. But if we simplify with two Boolean, that gives us just four states, and those four states might represent states that you might be in or you
Yeah.
can move to.
Yeah, I'm going to draw it much bigger because I'm looking at it and it doesn't seem big. But so yeah, you have one axis that represents your creativity, how much creative you can be, and this is how, yeah, if you are like in the right states
Maybe
of believing that ideas are not limited, and so you can generate always new ideas, and then
maybe
yeah,
put like 0, 1, 0, 1, so that
yeah, so it's clear.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's clear.
So yeah, 0, 1 here, and also an axis for your confidence and your level of stress, yeah, and how much you can
Okay, so here you put like confidence and here creativity.
exactly
Um,
up and confidence like this.
Confidence and CR creativity. And so there are two different ways to see creativity. So on the one hand, you have a model where you consider that your creativity is like fossil fuel. It's given resources that are inside of you, and you are maybe born with it, or you have few regeneration. It's not very renewable, and thus every time you have an idea, it's like you extract oil from the ground, and you have to use it because if you spill it, you won't get this back, and you have taken you have taken this out of your resource well. So the best attitude you can have is to always use every idea, note everything, be like Peter Lynch, and with this vision of the world, you might be extremely afraid of losing an idea. So you always go out with a notebook to note everything. You always make voice recording of ideas. So this is one vision. The other vision is the river flow. So if you consider your ideas are infinite, you are not given any prior ideas when you're born, and you just have ideas, like you take a bucket of water out of the flow and the flow just keep going, then this is way less stressful. But it's you need to
Yeah.
be quite confident. You need to be confident that the river is still there next time you need it, and you never know when you need it. So it's pretty tricky. And just to finish with that, why do we why we instinctively think about the fossil model and not the flow model? It's because when you're not very creative at the beginning, you think that you have only a limited set of good ideas during the day. And when we say good, it's already a qualification, so it's hard. And for example, you have 2 good ideas per day, so it means that you have to note every ideas, not to lose like the 2 ones that will emerge. But if you're in the flow, you know that.
And that's sorry.
Yeah, just you know that 2 ideas are not maybe the limit. Maybe you can do 20 good ideas or 200. This number is not fixed.
Yeah, and so that's I think linked to a broader relationship that we have that's not very healthy to productivity and to our like mindset and conditioning of society to always like optimize more and don't have losses. But we can come back on this later. And so if we apply this this concept that Luca just explained to our model of the 4 quadrants, so the 4 states you can be in. Either you're stressed or calm and confident. Either you're not creative or creative. Emerges 4 quadrants. The first one, so this you must imagine is
It's like a map.
hysteresis map. It's a map of potential energy.
Or maybe
Yeah.
just a map, in the mountains. Like
Yeah.
when you're hiking.
Exactly.
So here,
This is a hiking map.
Here is a hole. Here, it's a way.
A mountain, a
slope.
steep slope. And so this is like the top of the mountain, but there's another like small well.
Like a lake.
Yeah, like a lake. Exactly, like a lake in the top of the mountain. And then there's again another steep slope that makes you fall down here. And what is in each quadrant? So this is the quadrant where you're nor creative nor neither creative nor stressed, nor calm. So you're stressed, and so this is where you're like trapped in this well of like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything, etc. And you stress and you don't do anything. This is a slope that we'll explain later. How you start by becoming confident before gaining creativity. This is the flow state where you're at the same time confident and creative, and this is a kind of like middle state, weird, unhealthy states where a lot of people fall sometimes, where you have like stress-driven creativity, and at the same time it's not healthy because it creates a lot of cortisol. And so I'll put a link of a study that shows how cortisol and stress hormones sabotages creativity and blocks its power.
Yeah.
We'll come back on that later. And so maybe you can explain how we go from a step from
one to
another
the other.
and how it evolves.
Okay, so as you can see, it goes clockwise. So you can only, to simplify, you only go like that way. So at the beginning, you might not be creative, but you are kind of confident. Like you know you can do things, and for now you have no ideas. But when sometimes you have some, you know them, and you're really happy with the current situation. So you're in the
So I'm like here.
you're in the up left quadrant.
Yeah.
So here, you have few ideas, and it's like every day, but if
Oh yeah, so I'm here. Like I'm sometimes creative, sometimes not.
yeah,
But
so
yeah.
you at some point you gain more and more ideas, and so you start to note them. So it's just like a spike of creativity, and you can go to this zone in an instant. Like I don't know, one day you slept very well, you had a good discussion last night, and you wake up, you take your notebook and you start noting things. But you have to go. I don't know, you have an appointment to the doctor or something, and on the way you have many good ideas, better ideas than the previous you noted, the previous one you noted, and you understand that you're gonna lose them. So you were sorry in the confidence and creative zone for a moment, and your confidence is getting low because you're afraid that you will not be able to find those ideas again, that they will just fly away. Like you opened the cage of a bird, and the bird is just going away, and you lose your precious bird. And so you end up in this state. So temporarily it's a little metastable. Like metastable means it's stable, but give it a little pinch of energy and it might fall to a more stable area, namely this area.
Yeah, and that's the trap where we can stay. We will show the big map. Probably I will already had showed it on the screen at this moment on how you can fall in this trap of like losing confidence, and so you lose your your creativity, and then you are in a self-sustained vicious cycle of stress. And so we made this episode because Luca shared me a very interesting idea of how you get out of this trap by just accepting to let go. It's I think a concept that we'll see a lot even later with the place of meditation, and just like letting go of this fear of like losing something, and this gives you the confidence to climb up the slope and come back to this state of flow.
Yeah. So why, just maybe a question that you might have in your mind, and if you have question, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. We will be very happy to answer and start a discussion. But why not just going that way? Because first, when you're not confident and not creative, it's extremely hard to be creative at first, because your mind switched from like the brain, the cortex area, to the amygdala, to the fear one. It's I go too far in the metaphor because that really happens when you're extremely stressed, but it shows a relation. And so you cannot create until you have created enough to show you that you're able to create. But you say that the condition can never be fully answered, like the condition of already creating to create more.
Obviously
you can't have a cold start.
Yeah, you need to have the mindset shift, the mindset shift of believing in it before like creativity emerges. And it's, you also speak about a kind of like mental Diogen syndrome. I thought it was interesting.
That's a good thing we can talk about just later. But here, imagine you're here is the mountain, you want to be really creative, and you're asked, if you go that way, to go up this steep valley. So it's really, really hard. However, if you first imagine that you're confident and you say, I will be able to create, not now, but I will be able to recover my creativity, then you go that way, you increase your confidence, and somehow, you don't know why, but you end up creating things and you slowly get back there. And you can't control that. You can control the increasing confidence, because confidence is just something that you fake and that emerge because you fake it. But creativity, you can't fake it. You see, so you leverage your creativity with confidence.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay,
yeah.
I think we're good. I think we're good. We are at 15 minutes right now. I'll do a Substack to explain a bit in details this concept and show like a lot of the researches, the studies, the bibliography that we did. And so I don't know if you want to add something more.
Maybe, yeah, we want to make a second episode on
Yeah.
that. That will be more like a discussion with things we found online and that might be interesting to have a deeper knowledge on this approach.
Sure. So yeah, we'll do a. So this episode was a bit prepared, and we'll do a second episode that I didn't prepare at all, and so we'll see how it goes for that one.
Yeah,
Sure.
perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.